Welcome to Chasing Epiphanies, where knowledge is power and the pursuit of wisdom is celebrated for its own sake. My name is Marco, and I've got a question for you. If you could erase the memory of one book and re-experience it, which book would it be? I'm asking because in today's book, we're messing around with memories. More happy than not is the debut book of Adam Studmuffin Silvera. No homo. The story is set in a bad Bronx neighborhood where you have to grow up tough, knowing how to talk the talk or fight if need be. It's the kind of place where you might just have to sell drugs on the side to make enough money. Our main character, Aaron, is a teenage boy from a family that has lost its father to suicide, and we waste little time in establishing that Aaron has made an attempt on his own life as well. Needless to say, the story delves into some depressing themes. Despite these circumstances though, Aaron seems to be doing alright. His family, though downtrodden, are supportive of him. He's got a group of friends to hang out with, he's got games to kill the time, loves comics and would like to make his own someday, and as one of the more sensitive guys on the block, he's got one of the healthier relationships with his girlfriend, Genevieve. The chemistry between the characters is quite sweet, and captures Aaron's voice quite well. You can really get lost in the narrative and see his perspective, get really deep inside of him. No homo. It's got all the workings of a modern romance drama, except for one thing that looms in the background like a sword of Damocles. There's this place called the Lateo Institute, which offers people a new and revolutionary medical procedure, one that suppresses memories. Those who carry mental burdens that are actively destroying their lives can come here to forget all about them. It's under these circumstances that, Wait, what's that smell? Ah yes, no mistaking it. That's love in the air. Smells like body spray, old meat and used condoms. Enter Thomas, a boy that makes up for his lack of direction with all of the charm. He and Aaron become friends quite quickly, doing all of the regular things that boys do. Watching Jaws on a rooftop, share comic books, running shirtless through sprinklers, talk about their feelings, deliver saccharine lines like, "This guy was an absolute nobody to me yesterday and now he's... what? Tell me who you are, stop hiding." No homo, of course. Actually, no. Once Aaron acknowledges that something might be developing here between him and Thomas, it immediately turns his world upside down. His relationship with Genevieve starts to feel forced, the homophobic slurs that his friends used to throw around start to sound like implied threats rather than mere harmless jokes. Aaron is not some passive protagonist though. He will dare to push the boundaries and see if he can make his dreams a reality. He prepares himself to confess to Thomas. Once he takes that step, however, the twists and turns in this book are unleashed and they refuse to stop coming, and they come hard. No homo. I'm typically not a fan of the romance genre, mainly because of how predictable and cookie-cutter a lot of romances can be. More happy than not is a welcome exception to that trend. The first act pulls you in with likable characters, quippy dialogue, and the usual romantic trappings. The rest of the story, however, starts to steer away from that. It becomes a story of accepting yourself, living with your mistakes, the dangers of running away from your problems. Yet in spite of many missteps, Aaron never comes off as unlikable, since most of us understand that being openly gay in a bad neighborhood could result in a black eye at best or death at worst. Environments that demonize and mistreat people for who they are inevitably cause those marginalized people grief and confusion. Speaking of confusion, one impressive thing that Silvera pulls off with his writing is how he handles sudden transitions. For example, 1 second Aaron is getting ready to sleep with his girlfriend, then he's thinking of Thomas, rambling internally of the present he got for him, and then we're just at the birthday party, with the previous sex scene left completely unfinished. Bet you enjoy blue-balling me, Silvera. No homo. These transitions can be just a bit jarring at times. You might feel like there are scenes missing sometimes, but this is a story that plays around with memories, so in retrospect, once you finish the book, it actually feels pretty fitting. If I had just one grievance with this story, it's the ending, which doubles down on the tragic elements. Even now I'm not entirely sure how to feel about it. My problem lies mainly in that it felt like it was taking an easy way out. On the one hand, it gives the book a more final and poignant ending, but I was left craving for more. I wanted to see how the characters would have moved on had they not been ambushed by this last tragic twist of the knife. To summarize, if you want something that's not your average romance, one that hits you in the feels, messes with perception, and delves into social issues, then More Happy Than Not might just be for you. I'd certainly say the experience left me more happy than not. Huh? How'd you like that one, Silvera? Oh, come on, it's the least you can give me. I play with words, you play with my feelings with your writing. No homo. Actually, no. I take it all back. Come here, you sweet hunk of a... Hey, welcome to Chasing Epiphanies. I have a question for ya. If you could erase the memory of one book and re-experience it, which book would it be? I'm asking because, well, the review's already over. Just remember, intelligence is sexy, so be the sexy you. Read a book.